There are 5 steps to follow when designing a new structure. And in this video, I want to take you through each step and why it's so important to follow these steps in sequence. The bottom line is that if you can follow these 5 steps in order, then it's going to have a dramatic positive influence on not only your ability to design the right new structure to scale, but to energize it with the right people, to implement that new structure quickly and painlessly, and to see really rapid transformation in your company. And of course, if you get out of step, it's going to be less likely that you'll have all those same positive outcomes. So on my screen are the 5 steps. Now there's actually a precursor step. It's to set the right strategy. You know, you've heard me say that structure must follow strategy. And so setting the right strategy is of paramount importance. And you can learn more about setting the right strategy using life cycle strategy in my book, Organizational Physics. If you haven't read that, I highly recommend you check it out. So once you've set the right strategy using life cycle theory, then step 1 is to map key process cycles. So this is to map the ideal customer journey, product journey, and employee journey for that strategy. You're not thinking about structure at all at this stage. You're just mapping what the ideal journey should be for those things, customers, employees, and products. And I've done another video on that. Feel free to check it out. I'll put the link below. Once you've mapped those key process cycles, then you're going to use the structure map. This is step 2, to place the functions accountable for each step into their correct relative location in the structure. Now, the structure map is a forcing function. It's a thinking tool. So this is where we enforce that you don't let short range overpower long range. You don't let efficiency overpower effectiveness. You don't let centralized control overpower decentralized autonomy. So you use that structure map tool to lay in your right structural design using first principles. And I've done a video on that. I'll put the link below. Then the next step, third step, is to clarify and adopt the structure. Now notice I have not talked about people yet. We haven't placed people. We haven't talked about reporting lines. And this is really important because if you start to design around people rather than around principles, you'll twist yourself into knots. You'll start designing around people and the status quo versus taking a clean break and understanding and designing what's required to drive forward this strategy. So before you even get to discuss people, I want you to clarify and adopt the structure. Once you've done that, then you can have a very artful and insightful conversation about who are the people you need to energize that structure, but not the other way around. I've covered another video on how to stack your structure with the right talent using the PSIU code. That's from Organizational Physics, as well as the draft board, which is from my book, How to Think About Hiring. I'll put those links below. Now, the 5th step is to plan and execute the rollout of the structure. And the secret here is you don't want to announce a big new structural change. Instead, you want to work backstage with your leadership team. Now, this will be an expanded leadership team, a new leadership team, which is actually built from the new structure. You with me? So we've designed a structure using first principles to drive forward the strategy. You've clarified, you've adopted that structure. Then you place people into the structure in that order. Those people in the new structure are going to represent an expanded leadership team. And I'm saying it's expanded because usually in order to have a holistic view of the business and cover all quadrants, you're going to need to have a little bit larger leadership team. And in my work and in my book, Designed to Scale, I teach you why it's so important to have facilitators for your leadership team so that you can be CEO and put pressure on the system to evolve and not simultaneously be the facilitator. So the secret here is you launch your new leadership team and model backstage, and you get the new structure working, okay? It's kind of like if you were a football coach, you're in your office with your assistant coaches, and you're designing your plays on the whiteboard, okay? That's kind of like the structure. But then you got to energize that structure. You got to bring it alive by getting it on the practice field, and that's what we're doing with this new leadership team model. We're getting you on the practice field, working through the details, handovers, transition issues as a team on the field. A few weeks operating in the new leadership team model will start to gel the structure together, and then you can make a larger announcement to the broader company if you need to about the structural changes that you've made. Now, the bottom line is that any structural changes are only for one reason. It's to support the strategy to allow you to get more and better customers, design, develop, and deploy the right new products, and to attract and retain and support the right workforce. That's why you have a structure, is that as a CEO, it allows you to push authority deep, right? The right decisions get made where the work's getting done. Okay, these are the 5 steps to follow. Map key process cycles, map the functions, clarify and adopt the structure, then and only then place people, and then work with your expanded leadership team in the new structure to energize it and then plan and execute the rollout together as a team. Hope you found this helpful. Thanks for your attention.